So I'm just starting out here on the trail, and this is a pretty good trail because it has a lot of different environments that mushrooms could grow in. And so we're just getting started here on this part. So we're not into the thick part of the trail quite yet, but as you can see, I am prepared. I have long pants on and suitable shoes for walking so that if I need to go off path, I won't get stuck by anything or step on anything. Yeah. So this little guy, obviously there's a bunch of stuff around it, so before we pick it, we want to make sure everything's, oh, well, there's one way to do it. It came up as I pulled this little thing that was underneath, and it looks like it got the entire mushroom. It did. So yeah. Another example of one of the many environments here on this really pretty hiking trail. Another example of one of the many environments here on this really pretty hiking trail. Look very close. Can you spot the mushrooms in this little patch? I can see 1, 2, 3. So if we get down really close here to this one, now can you see it? All right, so before we go to pick the mushroom, you want to make sure that all this stuff is out of the way. So as carefully as I can, I'm trying to maneuver the camera here. I'm going to try to clear the space around the mushroom so I can get a good look at how big it is. All right, so I think that's about as clear as I can get it. All right, so to pick the mushroom, you're going to put your hand flat or as close as you can, get to the ground. And you're gonna try to get all the way underneath of the mushroom. Oh, I gotta clear a little bit more. I'm gonna try to get way underneath, and I wanna pick it from the bottom, and there we go. There's the mushroom. Go.
All right, we got another one on the way home. Look at that.
Ooh.
Beautiful little guy right there.
Pretty.
Growing out of some leaves. It looks like it has some kind of gray, bluish bruising on the outside of the cap. That's also the spores that shine through. So we're gonna pick the rest of these and get an identification.
Okay, so we have these two mushrooms here. This one fell apart in the bag, but we still have the cap, so we're gonna try to get an identification on it. But first we have to prep the larger mushrooms. So first I'm going to cut off the top or the cap, and I'm going to do that very gently to try to not damage either side, and I'm going to try to get up pretty close to the top here. So you can see it cuts really easily, just like that, and there it's off. Okay, so we cut the bottom off of the mushroom and we cleaned out the stipe here to reveal the gills underneath. You can see those there. And then because these gills are white and the mushroom is white, we are going to spore pin it onto black paper so that we're able to see it. And so to do so, you turn the mushroom like so and have the cap facing up. We have a little bit of water over here on the side, so I'm going to take my finger, dip it in the water, and just slowly rub over the top of the mushroom. Gonna get a little bit more. Gonna keep doing that. Make sure it coats pretty much everywhere over top of the mushroom. Okay, and then we're gonna put a cup over top to protect, make sure no air passes through and it doesn't mess up the spore print. So we're going to take the cap of this mushroom, and because it's a dark mushroom, we're going to put it onto white paper. In this case, it's paper plate, but we're going to do the same process here. So I'm going to take the cap, lay it gently flat on the paper plate, and dip my finger in water, and just rub lightly on the cap, do a little bit more right there. And that should be pretty good. And then I'm also going to cover this one, same thing. I don't want any air to pass through and ruin the spore print while it's drying. And there we have it. So we have our black and our white paper, and we'll come back in a few minutes. Okay, so it's about 5 hours since we placed the cap of the mushroom on the paper plate. Now we're gonna lift it up. And there's what we have. So the mushroom, again, was a little bit older, a little bit dry, so we didn't get too much of a spore print, but we can tell what color the spores are, and they seem to be dark brown. So yeah.